Well, you're watching Expert-o-Meter on NewsX, where we bring you an in-depth analysis of the prevailing political scenario in Bihar ahead of the exit polls. Experts decode the numbers game ahead of the second phase of the Bihar Assembly polls on the 11th of November. What do the trends suggest so far, and how might they impact the final outcome is the big question we're going to ask. The Expert-o-Meter gives you a daily pulse check of how veteran analysts think the election is going to be and what are their predictions. We'll talk about them with our guests. At this point in time, with us is Dr. S.K. Dutta. We'll go to him first, and of course, we will be roping in others as well. Dr. S.K. Dutta, renowned international right-wing expert, is with us on the show. Dr. Dutta, what are your thoughts on what's going to happen in Bihar? Of course, the NDA is fighting on 138 seats along with the Janata Dal United, the HAMS, which is the Hindustan Awam Morcha, a couple of independents also with the NDA. The opposition, of course, the biggest party there is the RJD with the Indian National Congress, the CPI, MLL, and the Communist Party is also a part of this entire exercise. And there are others as well. The AIMIM also is, I think, floating about 25 candidates, predominantly in the Muslim areas. Couple of those seats that the Owaisi-led party is fighting on is being represented by non-Muslims. Dr. Dutta, let's begin with your predictions.
Well, Vinit, I think it is a one-sided kind of an election. And this time the contest is very, very, very clear in favor of the NDA. Last time, yes, it was a cliffhanger election, last Bihar Assembly election, and there was a tough fight between BJP and the RJD. But this year's election doesn't seem to be that way at all, because right from the beginning, in my understanding, the Mahagathbandhan led by RJD was in a state of confusion. They were agendaless, then they had a lot of acrimony and squabble in relation to selection of candidates, in relation to joint campaign, and in many seats, the Mahagathbandhan candidates are having friendly fights, Now, if it is a Gathbandhan or if it's an alliance, where is the notion of friendly fight? It has to be a clear-cut kind of a fight with the opponent, with the opposition, and not within its own alliance partner itself. That itself shows as to how deep is the division within the Mahagathbandhan and how cohesiveless is the alliance. On the other side, if you look into the NDA right from the beginning was very clear in its projection that the election will be led by the incumbent CM Nitish Kumar, and after election it is Nitish who is going to be the new Chief Minister of Bihar once again, and under his leadership the NDA would be fighting the election. And in none of the seats the NDA is having any kind of friendly fight within its own alliance partners, and the alliance is fighting in a very cohesive way under the guidance of Nitish Kumar at the state level and Narendra Modi ji at the national level, and there is a strong cohesiveness within the alliance itself. Together with that, the AIML of Owaisi is once again going to be a spoiler, and the AIM might win in a couple of seats like last time in the Simanchal area, and that is going to spoil chances of the Mahagathbandhan in the minority-dominated area like the way it had done last time also. In the same way, the minority vote bank on which the RJD-led alliance is so much dependent on the Muslim vote bank, there is going to be a division of the Muslim vote bank, and that is going to eat up into the vote share of the RJD-led alliance. RJD-led alliance would be losing a couple of seats in Simanchal, and by de facto, as a reward for that, in those seats, like the way it happened last time, NDA candidates would turn out to winner, and in few more seats, the AML candidates would win. Second is like this time, if you look into the battle line
Dr. Datta, now what about the Jansuraj party? They're fighting on all 243 seats. Are they the new kid on the block? Are they the disruptors, who could make a dent? And, it's pretty evident that Prashant Kishore is, a big name when it comes to strategy and political penetration.
Well, Prant Kishore's, Jansuraj party, in my understanding, would be a kind of fiasco in the long run when it comes to actual results and when it comes to winnability of seats. Yes, it's for sure that he made a lot of noises in the Bihar election, and the way he tried to project his party as though it is alternative to the NDA as well as the Mahagathbandhan. Initially, there was a lot of confusion within the voters in relation to the actual agenda of Prashant Kishore, and he was pulling crowds, no doubt, in the initial phase of the election. But as the campaigning picked up, and as campaigning got closer and closer towards election, he gradually turned out to be whisker. And what I understand is he's just going to be a poster boy, poster, and it would not be reflected in the reality. He would not reflect in the reality. Yes, might be 4 to 5% vote share he might get, but that vote share would be a huge damage more to the Mahagathbandhan and less to the NDA, because the NDA voters are very committed voters, and they don't go this side, that side. But yes, there is a kind of a a kind of a pendulum kind of a scenario when it comes to the vote share or the voters of Congress towards RJD and RJD vote towards Congress. I mean, at the ground level, what I could understand from the campaign strategy and the way the campaign went, and especially the first phase of the election, it seems that the Congress voters did not vote for the RJD candidates, and the RJD candidate voters did not vote a Congress voter, for the seats where Congress candidates were trying to contest the election as representative of the Mahagathbandhan. And 65% of outcome in the first phase, that itself is a record margin, and crowd which the Prime Minister pulled during the time of the rallies in the first phase before the polls also, that was a cursor to which way and direction the poll was going. And after the completion of the first phase, the crowd which the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, is pulling in the second phase in different areas where he's going for campaign, and also the huge road show which in which people are turning up in lakhs in the road show of the Honorable Prime Minister. If I compare that with the road show of Tejasvi Yadav or of Rahul Gandhi, there is no comparison as such.
Okay.
So that itself shows as to which direction the polls are going.